So on the Benavidez v Zerdo undercard, it looks like Armando Resendiz will defend his WBA Super Middleweight Championship, against Jaime Munguia. Now, of course, Munguia is a guy and a name that some of you may recognise. Of course, he did fight Canelo over 12 rounds and was competently shut out and dominated by Canelo. But honestly, Munguia has got some good wins under his record. He's got a win over John Ryder, Gabriel Rosado, Spike O'Sullivan, Liam Smith, Derevianchenko. Some decent names there, to be fair. Some decent names at middleweight and super middleweight. But, you know, he got dominated by Canelo. He lost to Bruno Soares, got stopped by Bruno Soares, a guy who I've absolutely never heard of him before. His literally his only claim to fame is knocking out Jaime Munguia, and of course rematched Jaime Munguia and did lose in a comfortable unanimous decision for Munguia. Of course, Bruno Soares is a guy who's got like 5 knockouts in his entire career. So if you're getting stopped by him, then buddy, there's some problems there. You might be a bit cooked. Luckily for him, Resendiz isn't a guy who's really a world beater. Resendiz before this, his only real win was against Caleb Plant. And again, Caleb Plant didn't look good in that match, but Armando Resendiz stylistically just had all the solutions to the problems that Caleb Plant was presenting him in terms of, you know, closing the distance, making it difficult, making it an ugly fight, shutting down Caleb Plant, never letting him get comfortable. That being said, Jaime Munguia technically is a different style to Caleb Plant, even though I think Caleb Plant is actually a trickier style. It is different, and styles do make fights. This is a hard fight for me to pick, honestly, because Munguia is a decent boxer and he has got the better resume, in my opinion, over Resendiz. But, you know, he got knocked out by Bruno Soares. Maybe that was a fluke because he rematched him and beat him quite dominantly. But it leaves a sour taste in my mouth because Resendiz is a guy who clearly packs at least a bit of a punch. You know, I know he's not been at 168 for a long time, but he had more than enough power to keep Caleb Plant honest for 12 rounds. And if you're getting knocked out by Bruno Soares, maybe your chin's a bit suspect and maybe Armando Resendiz can get to you. I think Munguia, following the Canelo loss, has looked to sort of improve his game, and I think he's working with Canelo a bit now. So technically, I would expect him to be on a better level than Resendiz compared to, you know, where it may have been maybe before the Canelo fight. But again, before the Canelo fight is where all of his best wins have come from. Do you know what I mean? You know, when he beat Liam Smith, you're like, okay, this guy, bit of a prospect here. You know, Liam Smith's small for the weight, small for middleweight, super middleweight, but he's a respectable guy, respectable level fighter for sure. And Jaime Munguia beat him. Gabriel Rosado, journeyman, beat him. Derevianchenko, respectable guy. Respectable level boxer in my opinion. John Ryder, journeyman as well, beat him. He's not got a ton of great names on his resume, but at least these are names that I recognise. Armando Resendiz doesn't really even have that other than Caleb Plant. I do want to go with Jaime Munguia. He's got a ton of experience as well, but it's a hard one. I almost want to say the champion's going to retain here because is Munguia good enough to take the belt off Resendiz? Is he actually good enough to do that? I don't know. I want to go with Resendiz to retain, even though, like I said, it's hard because Munguia has got the better resume. He's got the names that I recognise. And even being in there with 12 rounds for Canelo, maybe you get a bit of a rom. I don't know if that's even real in boxing, but yeah, I mean, that fight looks like it's going to be taking place on the undercard of Benavidez v Zerdo. So it's looking like a super interesting card. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know originally it was supposed to be Resendiz v Charlo, and I would have picked Charlo to pretty comfortably beat Resendiz, but it's boxing and stranger things have happened, and of course, it's looking like Charlo's injured now, he's out of that fight, something's gone on there, but that fight's not going to be taking place. It's going to be Resendiz v Munguia on the Zerdo v Benavidez undercard. Super curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Resendiz will retain his WBA Super Middleweight Championship, or do you think, I don't know what the odds are, maybe Munguia can completely upset and become a world champion? Let me know in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.